Godzilla vs Kong is finally here, and after months of debates surrounding who wins and where everything fits into the MonsterVerse, we finally have our answers. I have just been able to watch the film for the first time, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down, explaining, and giving you my recap for the plot and ending of Adam Wingard's Godzilla vs Kong. This analysis will contain spoilers, so if you do happen to be someone who hasn't seen the film yet, then I would recommend watching this video after you've seen it. If you want to see more on the film, including my review which is coming tomorrow, and other video essays in the coming weeks, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into the ending explained for Godzilla vs Kong. So after a handful of delays, the epic showdown between Godzilla and Kong has finally arrived, and the wait has been mostly worth it. From the beginning of this movie, we understand that something is wrong with Godzilla. He's been considered the planet's saviour, who has helped keep all of the other Titans in line during the 5 years since the events of the previous film, Godzilla King of the Monsters. But a seemingly unprovoked attack on US soil has many wondering if the monster is still a protector or if he needs to be dealt with. Madison Russell, who is played by Millie Bobby Brown, doesn't believe Godzilla has turned into a villain and is dead set on figuring out what is making Godzilla do the things he has recently. With the help of her friend Josh Valentine, played by Julian Dennison, they work with a conspiracy podcaster to learn the truth. After bursting into the remnants of the Apex Cybernetics facility Godzilla destroyed, they discover something far more sinister. The company is working to develop technology to end the Titans once and for all, but they need something to make it fully functional. But then there's Kong, and things have changed drastically since the last time we saw Skull Island. Like many of the other monsters, the Monarch organization has contained Kong on the island itself, utilizing a massive dome or containment center to keep him isolated. Apparently, the storm surrounding the island continued to worsen, ending up killing off all but one of the native iwis who called it home. Gia, played by Kaylee Hottle, a little girl, is all that's left, but she's formed an unusual bond with the mighty Kong. Dr. Eileen Andrews, played by Rebecca Hall, has adopted and cares for the child, while also working directly with Kong as part of research and development. In short, Kong isn't just a rampaging and unknown monster as we saw in his previous solo film. The problem, however, is he's also grown way too big for his containment to continue holding him. He knows this, and it won't be much longer before Monarch will have to find another solution. Part of the concern is that Kong's containment also helps keep him hidden from Godzilla. And since taking down Ghidorah, Godzilla has been roaming the planet and putting down any other Titans who could pose a threat. With Kong being another Alpha Titan, it's possible Godzilla would be compelled to track him down as he has the others. It's an interesting plot thread that helps explain Kong's absence from the rest of the world's events during all of Godzilla's adventures. I personally liked the idea behind this, as Kong has become much more than a monster and shows a determined willingness to work with humanity. And of course, we learn that he even communicates with the little girl, Gia. It's a great take on the icon that I think has potential for even more stories down the road, though it doesn't really take the focus in this particular film. What does take the focus surrounding a solution to Kong needing a new location and the finding of the power source that Apex is after results with the Hollow Earth theory. We've seen this concept mentioned a few times in the MonsterVerse films already, but in Godzilla vs Kong, it's a central part of the story. Monarch has been studying the Hollow Earth idea, which supposes that at the Earth's core is another world entirely and the source of the Titans in general. There's an untapped energy source there, one which gives Godzilla his power, and it's exactly what Apex needs to get their secret project up and running. In the Legendary Pictures MonsterVerse, the Hollow Earth idea was first introduced to us by Monarch's William Randa, played by John Goodman, in Kong Skull Island. In these movies, the Hollow Earth theory was postulated by Dr. Houston Brooks, as played by Corey Hawkins in Kong Skull Island, and again by Joe Morton in Godzilla King of the Monsters, who believed that throughout our planet, hollow conduits exist that provide easy access from one end of the world to another. These are shortcuts that run through the Earth itself, and within them are pockets where civilizations and creatures can exist undetected. 2 movies ago, Randa explained that Skull Island was one of the places on the planet where these pathways exist above ground, thus explaining the island's very strange wildlife. In Godzilla vs Kong, we meet Dr. Nathan Lind, played by Alexander Skarsgård, a Hollow Earth expert who assists Walter Simmons and Apex Cybernetics on their quest into the planet's core. However, they seem to have moved away from the pockets of civilizations theory in this particular movie, and settled on the idea of there being another self-contained Earth at the centre of this one. In Godzilla vs Kong, the Hollow Earth seems to be a place. Early in the movie, Dr. Lind makes a throwaway comment about genetic memory and how it may be the key for them to be able to travel into the Hollow Earth. Genetic memory is based on the idea that the common experiences of a species have become incorporated into their genetic code. In this situation, it is that Kong's idea of home is somehow hardwired into his DNA. Dr. Lind proposes that they use Kong as a sort of genetic anchor and compass in order to follow him back to his home in the Hollow Earth. Getting there, though, proves problematic. The head of Apex has enlisted Dr. Nathan Lind to help lead an expedition, using their specialised craft to get into the Hollow Earth and discover the source of this power. They'll need Kong to help guide them along the way. Once they do get there, Kong has to save them through a battle with some warbats, eventually finding his temple home along with a battle axe made with the shell of one of the ancestors of Godzilla. Thus, the 2 monsters are set on a collision course with one another. Godzilla isn't about to let Kong go unchallenged, and Kong sure as hell isn't about to roll over and take a beating. After a quick journey to the centre of the Earth, the Titans find themselves locked in battle with one another while having to contend with Apex's secret project. But the question is, what does Walter Simmons and Apex want? The motive of this is incredibly unclear, as Walter Simmons seems to be motivated purely by the need to build his own Apex Titan so that humans would once again be at the top of the food chain. Which sounds admiring enough. He isn't a mustache-twirling villain looking to conquer the world, he just seems to have a particular hatred for Godzilla. We don't really get too much motivation, and it's not really a personal vendetta of any kind. Maybe his alpha personality just couldn't deal with Godzilla being crowned the king of the monsters. That said, it is his efforts towards building his own Mechagodzilla that triggers Godzilla into attacking the mainland for the first time in 3 years. So yes, Mechagodzilla is in the movie, and I must say, the few action scenes we get of the mechanical monster are great. Originally in the film, it appeared as if Mechagodzilla required a pilot, which was suggested to be Shun Oguri's Ren, who is the son of Ken Watanabe's Ishiro from 2014's Godzilla and 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters. But once they infuse it with the special power that they retrieved from the Hollow Earth, it develops a mind of its own, killing Walter Simmons and going on a rampage through Hong Kong. Ren, who is connected to the robot at the time, also dies. What happens is that the special energy from the Hollow Earth causes the dormant Ghidorah skull, which Ren was originally operating in, to come alive and infuse itself into Mechagodzilla. So Mechagodzilla is actually Ghidorah in a weird way. But before we get to a big showdown between Mechagodzilla and our other famous monsters, we do have to live up to the title of this movie. It turns out the fights between Godzilla and Kong are structured like a round-based boxing fight. The first being on top of the cargo ship and below the ocean, in which Kong is being transported to the Hollow Earth. And then the final 2 rounds take place in Hong Kong, following Godzilla's atomic destruction that makes its way down to Kong in his new home. In short, Godzilla takes round 1 at the cargo ship after some heavy blows, and once Kong has climbed his way back up to the surface at the end of the film, he eventually takes round 2. But Godzilla gets pretty furious at this point and comes back for a finishing blow in round 3. There's a few brilliant moments in the final fight, which to be honest we've already seen in the trailer, such as Kong's axe being charged by Godzilla's atomic breath, and also in the moment where Godzilla wins the fight, him and Kong have a bit of a roar-off. But Kong is down for the count and on the verge of death until Nathan Lind rewires one of the Heave aircrafts and explodes it on his chest in order to kickstart Kong's heart. This all takes place while Mechagodzilla, who is now actually Ghidorah reborn, fights Godzilla for revenge, and the both of them really destroy Hong Kong. Godzilla, weakened by his fight with Kong, is no match for Mechagodzilla, who relentlessly beats him into submission. But just when things look bland for the monster, Kong shows up and both monsters team up to take down the evil robot. Kong reobtains his magic axe, the blade of which seems to be from one of Godzilla's relative scales, and in the ultimate showdown, Godzilla charges up that axe in Kong's hand using his atomic breath before Kong uses it to cut Mechagodzilla into pieces. So yes, the final 20 to 25 minutes of this movie is pure chaos, and in the process we get Godzilla beating Kong, and Kong with the help of Godzilla beating Mechagodzilla. The movie does also have a final scene where we see that Kong is now back at Hollow Earth, and the human characters also have a base there, but there was no sign of any post-credit scene. So it's up for debate where this story now goes, but I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up seeing a movie in Hollow Earth with Kong. But that was my video explaining the brief plot and ending of Godzilla vs Kong. Overall, we got a great fight between the two monsters, alongside a great addition of Mechagodzilla. Apart from some weaker human characters like Millie Bobby Brown and her sidekicks, I think the film delivered on its title and opened up some really interesting areas of the world that the MonsterVerse can tackle in future movies. I will be uploading my review on the film tomorrow, where I will go into more details surrounding my thoughts on the film, but for now, I must say that I did have a lot of fun watching it. I do hope this breakdown helped some of you guys understand the events a bit better, and overall, I'm looking forward to hearing what else you picked out from the film, so don't forget to let me know down below in the comments section. For more videos analysing Godzilla vs Kong over the next few weeks, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.